Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for January 5th. We're going to take a look at the US Japanese yen pair. I'm expecting this pair to move as high as 94.37 and on the lower side 90.70. Now look for some resistance to pull in around 93.62 and look for support around 92.50 in this particular pair. Now this particular pair did gap on the open. It has filled that gap. The odds are that it will during the week, and this one did so. Now switching over to the Euro USD, this pair also filled its gap, kind of as expected. But I am looking for this pair to move as high as 1.4092 with resistance coming in at 138.21. The bottom of the range I'm looking for is 134.17, and I'm looking for this pair to hit some support around 135.41. Now, if you had a chance to look at our our trade from yesterday, we were looking to take a low, basically take this low to be taken out, and that occurred at 1.3821 is where we sold. I think the actual low was a pip or two above that at 38.24, but we took it a little bit lower than that, looking for it to move down to this session's high, which was at 137.20, and we went ahead at 21, and we went ahead and exited at 22 to make that 100 pip move. If you see this, it really did just zip through down to that point, that window of opportunity, as we talked about before. Did pretty well. Something I'm keeping an eye on. If you notice, we have the low here, and if you draw a horizontal line over, we have another window of opportunity during this next session, possibly, if this pair moves lower, breaks this low, and then moves down basically to this high where we had a previous resistance, now will turn into some support. So that's something definitely to keep an eye on. Now switching over to the pound US dollar pair, this pair I'm expecting to move as high as 1.4880 and as low as 1.4231. Look for some resistance to come in around 147.69. Look for support around 146.48 in this particular pair. This pair is moving sideways right now. The bias is to sideways, and we'd have to get a break, a close below this session's low for that trend to end. And if you back out a little bit, you can see that we've been kind of moving lower, but in a very slow pace over the past couple of weeks. We did get a break, but we're pulling back. So I believe we'll pull on back a little bit higher before we continue lower. Now switching over to the US Swiss, let me zoom in. Here we go. This particular pair I'm expecting to move as high as 112.14 and as low as 1.0599. Now that may be a little low, but look for some resistance to come in around 111.40 and look for support to come in around 1.033. If you notice, we have this blue dot here. That's our indicator for our overextended trades. This particular pair has already, from the open to the high, already filled that. It did that by 1 pip already, and it did it fairly quick for 35 pips, if you're wondering. But something else that I'm looking at, and I'm pretty excited about this particular move, or potential move, we have in the euro pound, we have an overextended bar, overextended trade bar, that also has a window of opportunity. And let me draw some trend lines here, support and resistance lines. Okay, now that we have those two, basically you tag the low of this particular session, this past session, which is an overextended bar. So we know that most likely the odds are that we'll get this to occur. Basically, from the open to the low of this session will be filled. Now, from that point on or lower, we're looking to short 0.19226 and moving down lower to 0.9050. That's a sizable move. I do realize it's around 176 pips from here to here. I know the market has pulled down a little bit, but what I look for is the market to move higher above the open. Go ahead and short, looking for this gap to be filled or this area to be filled. And when it does, from today's close to the low, at that point you can put a break-even stop in place once it breaks this low, and hopefully it will continue down lower down to this point, and the risk to reward ratio that you have will be a really good move for that. The other option would be to wait for it to pull back a little bit above the open and look to go short with 2 lots at that point, taking one off the table here and another here. So that's just some options that you can look for, but we do have an overextended bar coupled with a window of opportunity that could move this market pretty low pretty fast. That's pretty much what I'm looking for during this next session. Now, looking ahead as far as news goes, we have the Eurozone releasing their CPI for December. It is the year-to-date report, though, and the consensus is that it has dropped from 2.1% down to 1.8% for the 2008 year. The U.S. also has their FOMC announcement, the minutes from their last announcement being released at 2 p.m. tomorrow, and the Australian dollar has their retail sales for November being released at 7:30 p.m. Consensus is that actually there's no consensus for this particular news announcement. The last month was 0.7%, year-to-date 0.2%. So if we get much lower numbers overall, looking for a -1 or greater, we could see the Australian dollar drop in value due to that. Well, that about does it for today. Until tomorrow, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.